Good day. This 133rd day, meaningful moments, 365 days. Why good news? That was the meaningful moment. And it came about not all at once, the way sometimes it does. It came about kind of trickling over the last few days. It started out maybe about last week sometime. I had a conversation, and I speak to a lot of people in different parts of the world. It's always interesting to get a perspective on the way they might perceive us over here in the United States. And in this conversation, the new friend was expressing how it was good to hear that there was someone that was talking about the possibilities in those dark, unconscious places that we are, that shadow work that we do. And it was encouraging for her to hear that here in the United States, where she perceived that it is more about, the positive hurrah and, that optimism, that there was actually people doing that work on the dark side and bringing things into the light, that you couldn't have one without the other, that was a necessary component to getting to that place where you feel that positive energy. And then, through my own processes over the last few days, there were some really bright moments, but there was this inner work that was going on. And it was kind of symbolic of what she was speaking about, because there were these beautiful experiences over Mother's Day that I was so deeply appreciative and I think just felt so much love. And then there was this inner work that was going on too, that has me, very much feeling this next step that I am about to be taking. And perhaps some of you have experienced that, where everything is flowing and moving beautifully and you feel you're on that precipice of something new, something coming, and you're not sure what that is, but it brings stuff up. And perhaps there's these little fleeting moments of a doubt or a hesitation, something, and rather than bypassing it, going into that moment and understanding it, and it allows this place of kind of not knowing, right? And you're a little bit uncertain or unsure. It's not always an easy place, because there's moments that you feel so confident and so sure with your path and what you're doing. But it's necessary. It kind of puts a check and balance into the whole picture. And so that's what this moment was about. Why the good news? Because through that little process, I began being aware that I was working with that. And then I began to focus on these areas of life that was unfolding so beautifully. And if you've done those kinds of experiments with yourself, you can see the little chain of events that happens and what that energy momentum does the moment you begin to focus on what it is that you do want, as opposed to what it is, not even that you don't want, because maybe you're aware enough to know that, but maybe just having those moments where you get focused on something that you in yourself are not quite sure of how it's happening. And there's so much in this all, that just for this little clip about, the unknown and stepping into it and having that faith and ability to move through that and just take the next step. Just have that fearlessness, that courage to take that next step. So why the good news? Because this good news that we talk about isn't just about this positive hurrah kind of feeling, although you probably could get pretty far on that feeling too, whether it was just pure innocence or just that belief in the good-heartedness of who you are as a human being and a force of life. But that good news, whether you're able to receive it because you're hearing it from someone else, or not receive it because of where you are at in your own self, it's important just to begin exploring what is that good news and why the good news, why we want to be focused on that, why we want to move with that momentum and that energy, and what is the outcome, what unfolds directly because of it. And that's when we can reassert and reclaim our power. So that's been the meaningful moments over the last few days, and why the good news. And this morning I woke up to literally like 5 good news pieces of all kinds of things that were happening, both in the world of PureEsperanza and what is being created, and in the personal work of where I'm moving to with my training and my practices in healing energy and energy medicine. And this is one example of it. It's that vibration and that frequency that we set that vibration at, and then how we actually move that energy and direct it, and direct application, which results in manifestation. For you all today, bringing you good news. Today, the sun is shining, and perhaps that's the good news for you today. But for you, in counting all your blessings, and in that very conscious direction of the good news that comes your way. Aho, friends.